All right, from the mountains of Western Canada, the province of British Columbia, we motor across the Canadian prairies into the province of Manitoba. That's where Calvin Pickard is currently residing in his home of Winnipeg. And Cal, there aren't many mountains. There certainly aren't even really any hills in Winnipeg. It's the old joke. They say it's so flat there you can watch your dog run away for a week.
It's true. It's good to be on with you, Bob. It's been a while since we've had an interview together. Obviously, we were going strong there for a lot of interviews in a row, but it's good to be back home. Obviously, we want to be playing hockey right now, but the silver lining, we're expecting a baby soon, so we're under our own roof and enjoying the Winnipeg weather here. We're still in the brisk time of winter, which is mid-April somehow, but no, we're enjoying the time we're spending with our family.
Well, by the way, also happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Happy birthday. So this will air Thursday, the 16th. So it was actually 28 years old on the 15th of April.
Just entering my prime.
Yes, you are. And you were playing some pretty good hockey. Bad timing for everybody, obviously, with the coronavirus. But for you, certainly, Cal, things are going very well. The team was playing well. You were playing terrific. In fact, I think it was, 55 of the last 56 shots that you had faced in 2 games. You stopped them and got the Griffins into third place.
Yeah, I guess if the season resumes here at some point, I guess those last 2 games are, pretty pivotal, being in the third spot. But, it was a kind of a weird season all in all. There was a lot of good stretches of good games, but it never seemed to kind of escalate to 4, 5, 6, 7 games. It's just kind of stopped after a couple or 3. But no, we were playing some good hockey there the last couple games, and it is unfortunate that we had to stop. And you could say that about a lot of different teams, but us especially, having that good team and being capable of big things going forward.
Well, we'll talk some more hockey here in a moment, but first and foremost, and you brought it up, in addition to the Pickard household, will be the first addition to go with your wife, Courtney, and your dog, Ari, who happens to be by your side right now. And the birth date is creeping up here. I think just a couple of weeks away, right?
Yeah, it's very exciting times for sure. We actually had planned to have the baby in Grand Rapids, obviously planning for playoffs and going into May and June. But, when this all happened, it was time to get back home and get closer to family and friends. But no, we're very excited. Things have gone very smoothly so far, and, we're a couple of weeks away.
Daughter, correct?
Daughter, correct. Yep, you got it.
No names, no hints there?
We've batted some names around. We got a short list, but not telling you anything.
You told me that at the end of the season, and you're holding to it, it appears.
Yeah,
but have you seen McIlrath much around town? I know you guys are great friends, and obviously he's back there right now as well.
Actually, I've been keeping our distance. He's just down the road. He's not far. But I'll be seeing him coming up. We'll take the dogs for walks or whatever. But we saw each other every day all year, basically, except when he was up and I was down, or I was up and he was down. But roommates on the road, and once this all blows over, we'll be seeing each other quite a bit again.
Well, you got another year to go in that contract, and I was just reading a story yesterday about. And you were brought up prominently in the story. What are the Wings going to do going forward with the goaltending? They referred to you as a serviceable third guy, but there was some hint that the Wings would be smart to take a look at Calvin Pickard as that number 2 guy behind Bernier, or whomever it might be.
Yeah, I have that experience, obviously, playing in the NHL for a few years, but I would have liked to have more games played and, have that playoff run this year to get that confidence back. It's kind of a tough scenario having to finish, 3/4 of the way through the season. But obviously, in my mind, I know I'm capable of doing it. But we'll see. There's so much uncertainty with what's going on right now with, free agency and potentially a long summer, potentially losing this season. So, I just have to get my mind back right and my body back and get my conditioning back up and work on my game, so I'm ready to hit the ground running when I get back.
Well, we talked to Hiccups, and I'm sure every hockey player now gets asked that question. What do you do? You can't go into hockey rinks, you can't skate, and for a goalie even more so. challenging to stay in shape? What's the difference between doing whatever it is you're doing off ice during this time as a goalie, as opposed to what guys are doing, the skaters are doing right now to try and stay in shape?
It is tough for sure. Being a goalie, obviously, you're not seeing any pucks or anything like that. You don't have your skates on, you're not putting your pads on. So you kind of have to look after, your body off ice wise. You can do some stretching, some conditioning. I got a Peloton downstairs, which has been really nice for this scenario, not being able to leave the house. And, I got some weights as well too. So I just started that the last couple of weeks, but for the off ice component, obviously there's things you can manage with, but in terms of being on the ice and seeing pucks, it's tough. And if there was a return of play, there would definitely have to be a grace period of a couple of weeks to get back at it for goalies, especially.
Okay, you've had such a good career. I mean, and one thing that we certainly highlighted during the course of the season, not only your great skills as a goaltender since you turned pro back in 2012, 2013, in that vicinity. And I want to talk to you about your junior days here in just a moment, but it's the off ice stuff too that you have really stepped up, and a lot of guys have during this real challenging, difficult time throughout the world. You and Tangrady and Terry and Lashoff, McIlrath, all kicking in, I think it was $500 each, and providing food for doctors and nurses at two of the hospitals in Grand Rapids. You guys, the switch games, the hockey games are highly entertaining. They're raising money for Kids Food Basket. I know it's a big part of what you've always believed in during your career. For sure. I mean, ever since, dating all the way back to junior, over 10 years now, obviously it's good to give back. And, especially in this time where the pandemic's going on, the frontline workers, the hospital workers, they're the real heroes right now. And anything we can do to help out, a day here, a day there, provide some food here or there. And we have a lot of good guys on our team that are stepping up in a big way. And for that matter, all around the league, the AHL, the NHL has really bonded together and pulled some money together to, get those supplies out there, get that food out there for the people that are really, keeping us safe, which is good. And to go another step is, those Twitch games that we've had online. It's been pretty fun, playing Xbox against the guys for, Shine's in there. Yeah, Shiner's in there. A bunch of guys. We had 7 or 8 guys the other night. The fans love it. We got some money raised for Kids Food Basket, which was nice. And it's over $5,000 now, which is great. And I hope you don't mind me bringing it up. A lot of you guys are so humble. You don't like to be in the spotlight as it relates to that. But I marvel all the time at just how generous and giving of their time hockey players are. I mean, it's easy for us, obviously. We're very privileged. We get to play hockey for a living, and it's we get paid while doing it. So obviously we can definitely lend a hand here or there, and lend our hand for support, and that's exactly what we're doing. We mentioned you played 4 years in Seattle, growing up in your development years before you turned pro, and a second-round draft pick, which is unusual for goalies. You typically don't go that high. So you obviously had caught the eye of a lot of National Hockey League teams. But one of the people that influenced you, I got to play this for you. Bob Cole, maybe one of the greatest influences on me as far as broadcasting. The great, legendary Bob Cole, calling this play. If you look up the best of Bob Cole, it's fantastic. It's goosebumps all the way through. But he calls this play on a save made by one of your favorite goalies of all time.
Fedor racing in. He's around the net trying to come out and fan it in. Loop up. Oh, my goodness.
Bob Cole's a legend. Cujo, also a legend. It's fun watching those. I mean, that's all we have on TV here in Canada is reruns of games like that. I think I might have seen him on TSN maybe a couple of days ago. But, no, Cujo is great. I mean, every Saturday night when he was playing for the Leafs and I was growing up, I was watching him and, amongst other goalies. And obviously Bob Cole was commentating. But I actually had a chance to meet Cujo a few years back at a golf tournament. And he looked younger than I did. I was astonished. He's, a good-looking guy, and he's a great guy. And all
goalies are good-looking guys, aren't they?
I wouldn't go there, obviously. But no, it was great to talk to him. Obviously, being into my early 20s when I was 6 or 7 years old watching him, on Hockey Night in Canada, and then obviously being on Hockey Night in Canada 15, 16 years later is pretty cool. But yeah, very good call right there.
Goalies wear a mask not so much to protect their face; it's to protect
the good look.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, the ugliness. I mean, you ever go into a University of Michigan hockey game down at Yost Arena where the student section, when the visiting goalie takes his mask off to grab a drink of water and they start the chant of "ugly goalie"? It's one of the classic moments in college hockey for sure. But, your days in Seattle, hey, just, quickly, your thoughts on Seattle National Hockey League. You've spent 4 years in the Western Junior Hockey League with the Thunderbirds. They'll start not this coming season, but the following year, National Hockey League in Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge Seattle supporter. Obviously biased, playing there for 4 years, 16, 17, 18, 19. Obviously at a pretty young age in a big city, so obviously didn't get to, experience the grown-up stuff, but great spot. It's definitely a really good secret of a town, and great hockey town. We had great fans there, as you know, and it's kind of, for Canadians, I say Vancouver of the U.S. It's a big city. It's beautiful, right on the water, and a lot to do, and a good hockey market, which I have no doubt they're going to do really well there.
Well, you had 4 years. I had 5 years there. I'd say the expansion draft 100%. Kaser and Pickard need to be selected.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time for me, but you never know.
Hey, by the way, did you happen to see?
I know. We are Winnipeg. That is special.
Got this during the playoffs a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you wouldn't
that place is incredible.
You'd never throw that away. Oh, yeah. The MTS Center is top-notch. You can't beat it.
My true allegiance, though, still right there, buddy.
Same with me.
All right. I know you got a lot of work to do this summer. Good luck with the baby.
Thank you.
Good luck with working out. One of your favorite sayings, get it done.
Get it done.
Applies to a lot of different things this offseason.
True. That's true. It is.
Cal, thanks as always. One of my favorites. Great visiting with you. And best to Courtney and Ari.
Yep.
You're a beautiful dog. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me, Bob.
All right. Take care, Cal.